guys! So today I have a review for you. I just finished Clockwork Princess, which is the third and final book in the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare, and I absolutely loved this book. I loved the whole series. This book in particular, from the very beginning, took out my heart, threw it on the ground, and stomped on it repeatedly, and then I realized I was only a third of the way done. It was very, very emotional, and I don't think I've ever been so emotionally attached to a book before, so... So this is what it was like for me reading this book. No! No, Jem, no! Yeah, so that's how that went. I'm not really sure exactly what I could pinpoint that is the reason that I loved this book so much and I love this series so much. I definitely, without a doubt, think I liked it a lot more than the Mortal Instruments series, and I haven't read those in a while, but I think it's just, I don't know, the characters, I think, are so well developed, and I loved how she wrote it. I love the writing. I always loved her writing. And I love that it's written in a way that you get the point of view of almost every character in the book, and you can really see how they feel about everything and the people around them, and you get to really see their relationships grow and the characters grow themselves as the book goes on, and I really appreciated that. I really, really loved all of the characters in this book. One thing I did love is that the love triangle between Tessa, Will, and Jem is so, it's so much better done than like any other I've read before, just because I heard someone say, because I've been watching and reading reviews about this book, and I heard someone say that it's, you don't come out of it hating any of the characters. You love all of them and you want them all to be happy, and you want Tessa to be with both of them, really. I mean, most people, at least I did. And I just loved them all. They all had their own, you know, things, and I think what killed me was just Jem's slow decline through the whole series. In this book, it finally just kept going and going until it was too late, and I love Jem, and it just made me so sad, and I love how much they all love each other so unconditionally, and it was just so well written and so well done, and I never wanted to stop, but I did because I was so upset. I like that she did end up with Will at the end and spent his life, because she's immortal, spent his life with him and all that they did together, and the epilogue just, it just killed my soul. This book was so emotional. I cried through the whole epilogue. I loved that she kept meeting Jem even though he was a silent brother once a year for all those years, over 100 years, and it's hard to think that now that Will's dead and that we had to read about that. It was awful, but it was so good, and I love Cassandra Clare and I hate her at the same time. And plot-wise, I really, I liked that there was more than one villain. I liked that not only did you have Mortmain, but you had the consul, and you had political side of it, and as well as like the kind of sci-fi fantasy sort of thing with the automatons, and I liked the interactions between Charlotte and the consul and going back and forth, and I really liked that it wasn't just a love story between not only the main three, but also Gideon and Sophie, which I loved, and even Cecily and Gabriel, and of course Charlotte and Henry are lovely, and I like that it was so much more than that, and it had a really good plot. It was really well done, and it's very complicated, I think, and I really like books that are complicated, that have a lot of thought to them, and you have to really think about like timelines and like with Tessa's whole backstory that she is part shadow hunter and part demon. I think that's really, really cool. It was very, very, it was very clever of an idea, and I love reading about how everyone's connected and all the Shadowhunter families, and it's cool to me to think about the fact that all these characters in this series are directly related to the ones in the Mortal Instruments series. It's just so cool that there are Lightwoods and Waylands, and it's so cool, and I love thinking about how they could all be related, and I just thought the whole book was very, very, very well done. As for the climactic scene of this book, I really I like that Tessa was able to use her gift of shapeshifting to take out Mortmain and the automatons, and I really thought Henry died for a good amount of time there, and it was very, very sad. And when I love that Tessa transformed into her Clockwork Angel of the Angel of Ethereal, who was trapped in her necklace. I thought that was a really cool little side thing that they brought in with how it protects her, and how when she rolled out of the Dark Sisters carriage, how it saved her from falling to her death. And I just thought it's a really cool way to, I just liked it. I thought it was really cool. And when Jem came out, or his hood came off and finds out he's Brother Zachariah, I was spoiled by a YouTube comment that was on a trailer for the Mortal Instruments movie, and I am very upset about that because I found out far too early on what happened to Jem and Will, and I was very upset about that, but I thought that maybe it was wrong because they said Jem was dead and killed me. So when he was the Brother Zachariah, I was a little bit more surprised than I thought I would be, but I'm so glad he did not die. I think that was I think the only thing I really didn't like too much, and it's kind of a nitpicky thing because I'm writing a book and editing it currently, so I've noticed these sort of things. There was a lot of like overused descriptions and a lot of descriptions that weren't probably necessary. It's a very silly nitpicky thing, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what I didn't like really. I loved the whole thing. I loved everything about it. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, and I can't believe that in the end, at the very end, which I wasn't spoiled on, I had no idea this was going to happen, the fact that Jem was able to come back from the Brotherhood and was cured of his illness, his addiction, over 100 years later, and he's back, and they're gonna travel the world, and oh, it just, ow. I cried. It was so amazing. I'm so glad that she kind of ended up with both of them. I think it was a little fast, but I mean, they have seen each other once a year for so long, and they had so much love for each other when they were, teenagers, so I just thought it was a good end. It was a happy end for this series, and I look forward. I need to go back and read the Mortal Instruments series now and pick out Brother Zachariah because I know he's in some of the books, and I want to be able to read City of Heavenly Fire when it comes out and see if where the cure came from. So I'm so excited about that. I loved this series. I gave it highly recommended, especially this book, and I can't. So that's all for my review of Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you sometime this week for a book haul. So, talk to you later. Bye! Oops! Oh, first of all, I'm acting. Callie!